Okay, so TRS Resourcing was born out of, I'll say it, a bit of a fuck up in my life. Nice. I knows it. So I started TRS after my agency in Perth went bust. So came to Melbourne 8 and a bit years ago with $5,000 to my name and started TRS as a sole trader. So TRS is my initials, Tavis Shearer. Resourcing is half the name of my mentor's company that I used to work for in the UK. And kind of just went, you know what, I'll give it a go again. I guess what I bring to the table is a lot of technology into a blue-collar manufacturing space. I don't do a lot of construction. I kind of specialize in particular areas of the market: defense, waste management, steel, transport trailer equipment, commercial fuel tankers, and we just kind of roll with that. But yeah, that's the odyssey story of TRS Resourcing is that I'm a horrendous employee and no one would give me a job, and I needed to start something and make rent money. And the first month I started TRS, I had to borrow $1,500 off my mum so I could pay rent.
Fantastic. That's the riches. No, and Josh, we're both actually West Australia refugees. So
yeah, we are.
We met all those years ago.
We met in a cigar bar.
And we started the conversation with I sell people. I also sell people. We traffic humans was the other one we use sometimes. That's got a bit of a different connotation to it. So I was there for all of that. And he's actually underplaying it. It was much worse. The background for my business is we're an executive and technology business. So we focus really on C-suites. Anyone that's going to make a real business impact, bottom line, EBITDA, driving AI, driving cyber, and trying to, as I say, the business impact piece. Anyone that's out there trying to make business better.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's quite, it's timely and pertinent we're having this conversation today, doing employment numbers have been...
We were just discussing it walking down the street, actually.
Yeah. He doesn't believe them.
I don't.
He doesn't
well,
believe
Matt Mile and
No, I said the same. I don't think.
I think they're full of shit. Impossible for what we're seeing. The data does not match.
So is it, I guess that the result showed improvement in the unemployment rate, and the storm clouds on the horizon, but that's not putting it. Is that the feel that you're seeing out there, or?
I'll let Mal answer because he'll probably be more diplomatic than me.
Certainly from my industry in the IT industry, there's a large number of big multinational companies that are downsizing because they're tightening their belts. They're not employing people. Telstra let 3,000 people go in June, right? All from middle management up. Companies have tried to save money. Now, for me, it's actually a good thing because when they get rid of a permanent person, they want a contractor. And that's my main business is contractors. Because they need somebody to do the job, but they don't want the headcount. So they get a casual to do the job. And up until a few years ago, it was the same casual, but Telstra and the unions put a stop to that. But as for the figures, and I agree with you guys, I don't believe, we were having a conversation, how can we check? We don't know. I think it's just keeping the interest rates the way they are.
I'll tell it from a nuts and bolts, ground level sort of thing. I have a lot of my original guys that I started the company with, trades-wise, coming back to me for work at the moment. You know, those on being site managers, they're doing other things, and TR's been going 8 years. And they've come back to me to come back and work for me. And a lot of them are asking me for subs straight up off the bat. And because I know them, no problem. I'll sup you $500, $1,000, whatever.
Explain what that is.
Basically, I'm just lending them cash to advancing pay.
Mm.
And in the trade space, it is when the market is oversaturated with more workers than there is.
Oh.
Sorry,
he's generous.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, but no, I'm only saying no but you know your contractors from a long time ago.
I wouldn't do it to a new person, but what I'm saying is a lot of people are coming to me at the moment, come back to work for someone known because they've gone out, they've started their own subcontractor business, they've been in construction, and they haven't been paid or whatever. And a lot of them have horrendous tax debts. So from you see it where they go out, everything's booming. You know what? I don't need to work for an agency. I don't need to work for an employer. I'll start my own consultancy business, or I'll start my own subcontracting business. And business is beautiful for the first few years. And then suddenly when the industry takes a turn, they don't know where to get the next contract from, the contract that they had, the contact they had with this company. The other thing that I'm seeing at the moment is we are all subscribers to Seek Talent Search, which is Seek's CV database. And it is awash with candidates at the moment. And so that's why I said when the employment figures came out today, they were completely full of shit. Like, it just doesn't, from what I'm seeing from an actual ground level situation to what is being reported in the media, to me, is not correct.
I'm going to be contrarian because I
know you were going to be contrarian.
But holistically, what you're actually seeing is stability. That's what I would read that as it. And I actually think that certainly in our sector now, you're starting to see a bit of a dip and it going back the other way now.
Correct.
Stability and 58,000 new jobs added. That looks like an impressive number. It's not really. When you look at it and you go, there's sectors within sectors. So the big end of town is hemorrhaging people. You're right.
Correct.
But we're going to bring everyone in 5 days. Oh, what happens? People leave or we make them redundant. Suddenly it's a discussion. Amazon, the same thing. They got rid of 15,000 people this year. I mean, and we're going to bring everyone back 5 days. So we'll get another couple that'll just leave organically.
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to say with Amazon, because everybody was shocked that they reduced their numbers. What they said was they went back to pre-COVID numbers. They overemployed because they were worried there was a shortage of people, and certain people in certain industries, like certainly IT and C-levels. So they overemployed, they overpaid to get people. And once COVID was over and they realized we don't need all these people, they got rid of them.
Yeah. And so a stable market, stable employment market, things that's reasonably well. So the average Joe on the street, what role do you play in this type of market?
We got a role in every market.
Yeah.
And to Mal's point earlier, where post GFC was the best years we've ever had. COVID, the best years we've ever had. Everyone actually was still working. There was, I remember vividly, I wasn't around Lehman Brothers, but it felt like that for a little while. 2 weeks of, we're in trouble here. And then, there's new normality. We have to get on with it. Business. We can't sit here and, in our world anyway, so many companies weren't ready for remote working. They weren't understanding modernization of technology. So we had all these big transformation projects. People were just sitting at home earning double what they were a month or 2 months before because they were really important all of a sudden. Everyone, all my guys, are all essential workers. And I remember calling around every executive going, how's your BCP? Business continuity, like, shit.
Look good, I was about to ask that.
Yeah. Bad names. And the ones that were like, we were actually really ready for it. I'm like, oh, good. Well, I don't care about you then. You're boring. Let's go call someone that really fucked it up because I want to talk to them. So good markets, they need us because it's competitive and you don't have time. In this market, you'll get 600 or 700 candidates for a job. No one has the time to do that. We do. That's what we do. You don't want to spend that time.
So you're saying you sift through that when there's an oversupplied people, that you help sift it through when there's an undersupply, you get to the category.
But there's also a point, and I was talking to you this before. I spent a lot of time with post-COVID trying to talk to people, candidates, and talking to them about their expectations in salary. COVID salaries don't exist anymore.
Yep.
Right? They've come down. They've gone back to normal or coming back to almost normal. Certainly in my industry, I know, Tav, you probably pay award or close to or a bit over, up.
Way up.
But a lot of IT people, especially senior people, were expecting, during COVID, they could get a lot of money.
Maybe price.
And I used to say to them, don't be greedy, this is not going to last. And sure enough, as soon as COVID's over, they're unemployed. But they're still unemployed because they're waiting for that big job to come along.
Which isn't good.
And it's not, the jobs are there, but not for the money they were on. They've gone back to what they were before COVID.
So you're coaching candidates now. I think it's a big part of your role in the current market. Are you coaching clients at all? Salary numbers and
absolutely. Clients have to understand if you want to reduce your overheads and pay less, you do get what you pay for. And there is this thing of, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Right? Employers want to force salaries down because they want to cut overheads. But what happens is people will take the job, but carry on looking around because there'll be another job with another 5,000 a year, or, on the contracting side, some of the lower level people will move for $2 an hour. They just will. I know it sounds really stupid, but they will move.
Yeah.
we've had to experience that in us.
It really, really grinds your gears too, because it's like something you'll probably fix. And attrition, it's important.
Yeah.
And in this market, attrition is down because people are worried about cost of living, everything like that. So they're not moving as much. It's literally halved in my space, quarter to quarter. So from this time year on year, it was about 15% attrition in the executive market. If we don't have attrition, we're screwed. There's nothing we can do. It's about 7 at the moment. So what does that mean? Like any data point, it can mean a whole lot of things. But I take that to mean, okay, people are sitting there and going, I've got it pretty good. I'm not going to go and run around and try to find new things. But that also means that those people coming up in the market aren't able to get those opportunities because the people aren't retiring or moving on or getting new roles or moving internationally. All these things aren't happening. So that's why you start to get a sense of gridlock and stability.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite dangerous in that sense.
And a lot of companies don't have succession planners.
No.
The amount of companies I have to talk to and say, what's your succession plan when your board retire? Oh, we haven't got one. Why not? So what's going to happen? Because all you guys have been here 25 years, what's going to happen in 3 or 4 years' time when you go?
I totally agree with both of you. By the way, this is the first time these guys have met. And I knew they were going to get on like a house on fire.
We are saying the same thing almost.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's not all doom and gloom.
No, it's good.
But like the startup plays an important role in this situation. As companies die, new ones bring new technology. That's 2 months in a row now. And if you really want to know what's going on in the Australian marketplace, employment-wise, read Seek's ASX report. That's all you need to read. Like, forget this person, this expert, and that. Just read Seek's. Yeah, but
Don't listen to us.
No, you listen to us, but like. Yeah. So two months in a row now, Seek's job posting rates have increased month on month. More jobs being posted.
Very simple metric.
Very simple. As you know, I'm a very simple educated strategy. And if you, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I was even talking to my backers today and my Dean Jenkins yesterday, he does all my bad debt protection insurance. He is actually starting to see this dip in the market where the interest rates are now coming down, and that will start kicking in properly in Australia in, what do you reckon, January and Feb?
Yes. Yeah, I guess maybe
December.
Maybe, hopefully December.
Hopefully.
And then we spoke about this in Sydney about sovereign capacity as well, which is huge in Australia. And hence why South Australia is now real estate booming, employment is sucking labour from all over Australia to build warships. And that soon will now happen again in WA. People don't know why, because there's no labour over there. But what I'm starting to see is these new projects coming online. So I guess in my space, and similar to your space, yes, you're getting candidates that might not necessarily want to move because they have nothing to move on to. But at the same time as well, I also feel that you're starting to see more traineeships coming onto the market. You're starting to see new opportunities. So I kind of feel that we are at the start of an upswing. So it's not all fucking doom and gloom.
I'd agree.
There's a lot of, sorry to interrupt, I was going to say,
Please,
a lot more
insist.
companies, I was going to anyway. There's a lot more companies willing to train, whereas 2 or 3 years ago, companies didn't want to put money into training, especially younger people, because they felt, we'll put all this money into training and they'll live anyway. But now, with all the emerging technologies like AI, all the problems that companies are having with cyber, they're having to train people because nobody knows what they're doing with it. This is all new. Right? When I say new, like 5 years ago, nobody talked about AI. Nobody talked about COVID screens. Nobody talked about anything. It's all changing, and it's changing very quickly. So now companies are saying, we now need to train people to do what we need them to do. And if they leave, they leave. But if you treat staff well, they don't leave that quickly. It comes down to culture, and we were having a conversation before about culture. If somebody likes working there, they'll stay there.
Mel, you must have had a sneak peek at our questions, right? Because AI was the next.
We could talk for hours and still not.
And we don't have that long. So yeah,
No.
Punchy answers, please.
Punchy couple of lines on where you guys think this AI thing's going in your industry. For both candidates and clients in the next couple of weeks or next couple of years.
Oh yeah, pick the AI guy. Okay. fundamentally, it is going to reduce the way or change the way that we interact with each other. All right, there's going to be so much that you're not going to think Tavis is sending. He's not sending emails. It's AI. You've hit something in the back end, and it will immediately personalize, hyper-personalize, really, really specific.
He's
That's
got someone
really
else that pushes that button.
No,
He doesn't
I'm
do it.
2 days away from AI replying to my emails.
I'm
Yeah.
emailing you.
It's doable, right? It really is. It's doable. So what does
days.
that mean?
No, well,
What's the implication of that? Well, very simply, Tavis is going to be a bored boy. So what does that mean for him? He's
Yeah,
got
I'll
more
build another
time to pick up the phone and have conversations. So actually, for our industry, fundamentally, it's a really good thing. And there's a lot of really heavy, laborious work that goes into screening 700 candidates, right? So you can suddenly start going, all right, well, I don't actually need to speak and even look at 700. And trust me, we do it at the moment. You sit there and click, click, click. 7 seconds is all you've got to make an impact, by the way. Harvard did a research on it, 7 seconds. Now that's going to be less.
oh yeah, we don't even read cover letters. I wouldn't
God,
bother.
I haven't read a couple
Please
of
don't.
these.
If you,
Just top end, current company, match
Keywords.
done. Yes, no.
So many
That's
cover
important.
letters, and some of them are so stupid where they put
Yeah.
dear and they put brackets, insert name here, and they left that
Are
in
you
there.
kidding?
No, seriously, that happens because they just
common sense, not that common.
Yeah, easy way to
they
disqualify yourself.
they download them from Google and they just cut and
I like
paste.
the templates.
Yeah. So I genuinely believe it's going to mean more human touch, which is a positive thing.
Oh, absolutely, at a different end.
At the coalface, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had AI in TRS for a couple of years now, and the best one that we've had was effectively, Pac-Man, Pac-Woman, yeah. Chomp, chomp, chomp. We had AI in the deep of our database, emailing candidates, talking to them via email, say, hey, you looking for work? And we used to call this AI bot Ted. Yeah, I am Ted. We needed to call it something, okay? And we're all in the movie names in the company, so Ted, that was fine. So, Ted the Little Bear, yeah, we called it Ted. We used to call it Johnny, but then I employed a Johnny and it got really confusing. So what happens is this AI bot just emails candidates that we haven't interacted to for years. Are you looking for work? Yes or no? Yes. What are you looking for? Standard questions. They would send their CV to the bot. That AI bot would then reattach their CV in our CRM and then bring them to the top surface of our CRM. This is a candidate looking for work. Okay. And we've been running that now for 2 years. The thing's so freaking good that the candidates would ring up and ask to speak to Ted. Ted's really sorry to tell you this. Ted's not in. Ted's never in.
Ted's on lunch.
Yeah.
Ted's lunch.
Forever.
Ted's the decision maker. If you've got a problem, speak to him. But the other thing is, you've got to remember, technology has moved on so quickly. But I'm going back 10 years where my CRM, the recruitment system, was sending out random texts on people's phones asking them if they're available for work. Right? And they would text back and it'd go back onto the CRM. Right? That's 10 years ago. And that's basic now. I mean, AI has moved on a bit. But we were using this technology like 10, 12 years ago. I didn't phone everybody to say, are you available for work? I'd send out 1,000 texts in one push of a button.
That's a serious question, Tab, but how, as a candidate, do you get Ted's attention?
I was going to say that's a good question because if you're looking at it 7 seconds and you've got AI doing it, could it potentially be different? Like it's going to pull things you didn't see.
Well, that was 7 seconds won't exist anymore.
I am going to
Because it'll just
talk
be ranking.
positively and negatively. So this comes with a warning.
Disclaimer.
This comes with a disclaimer. My dyslexia is. Unfortunately, in the recruitment space, you don't have this sort of panel. Okay, you have a lot of people who will cut in any sector, mortgages, finance, people cut corners, right? So candidate experience generally with recruiters isn't all that positive.
No.
Okay,
No.
I know.
People don't like us?
People don't fucking like us. Oh, yeah.
Mine like me.
Everyone fucking likes you.
Both of them. Both candidates. Both candidates like me. I've told them to.
Continue.
So you get a lot of candidates that build up resentment towards recruiters because, yeah, I'll get you a job. Never fucking hear from you yet. Or the recruiter will ring you up 2 months later pretending to be your best friend because I've got a job for you because you match in the CLE. Because Ted is so like, are you looking for work? And they're shocked that someone would be emailing them and then reply back immediately. They actually think that this is a person there working in the space. So negatively, AI is going to show up really poor customer service.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then on the other side, AI, and James and I have had many conversations about this. By the way, this is James who produces the podcast I'm on. Hi.
Yeah.
And like, so AI is going to do two things to every industry. Show up really shit people that it's just whatever, that don't care. And then help people excel in their careers. Plain and simple. I'm dyslexic. There's no, I don't hide from it. I have every single piece of AI everywhere on all my platforms.
And it'll save time.
It saves time. I don't have to reread. We use AI now to write Seek ads. We use AI to build base blogs, and then obviously we rehumanize them. So what AI is doing is resetting the bar of everything. SEO, how we operate. So it's not like, if I don't use AI, is AI going to help me get more leads, more business and that? No. But what AI, if you don't use it, you are going to be left behind by people that are using it.
Has and have lots.
Because they're over here. I was talking to one of the real estate agents on the block last night. Her parents own Ray White, Phillip Island. They've got Block House 3. And she said to me, I'm 32 and I don't have LinkedIn, and my jaw hit the ground. I'm like, what the fuck? And I mean, she said, what do you mean? I'm like, but I don't need it. I'm such, the show's put me everywhere. It's ringing me up. And it's, but that's Phillip Island. What happens when you sell everything on Phillip Island? There's a whole country out there that you might want to move on to. She said, I've never thought of that. I use LinkedIn automation massively with my connection requests on LinkedIn. Okay, that's all AI driven. Okay, people reply back to me thinking that it's actually me making a customized message to them. It's actually AI using a connection and common request and then analyzing it and then custom making an email for them.
You've got to put the effort in at the beginning. I get a lot of messages.
Am I panicking you?
Yes, because I just don't get it. How do you know how to do it?
Okay, so I went and saw my mother. There's a relevant to bring this up. I went and saw my mother in Perth on the weekend, and she's 78, and she gave me a fucking lecture and a half on crypto. And I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, and why the fuck I'm not in it? I'm like, Mum, what the fuck are you talking about? She says, you're an idiot for not being in crypto.
Why are you not in crypto?
I'm not in crypto. I'm not in crypto.
What else?
I'm more of a physical guy.
He's a cash guy.
But what I was saying was, if you're not using it, if you don't put the effort in at the beginning, right? I get so many messages. I reckon I get at least 2 messages a week on LinkedIn offering me a job.
Is it from me?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, seriously. And I replied to them.
Fucking Tavis.
No, I replied to them saying, stop being lazy. Look at my profile. I don't need your job.
Yeah.
I get it all the time as well.
Yeah.
But that's Sales Navigator.
You're a better man than me. We have fun with it. Oh yeah, give me the details. Who's the company? That'd be great.
I used to do that, but then they started sending me the details, and I can't be bothered.
But then you work out
if you're going to be bad at your job, you're going to get. This is what's going to happen. Our industry is unfortunately got a negative feel to it in some places. 80% of the people in our industry can go back to selling cars, and AI will make that happen. Human consultative ways of doing things. That is the change in our industry. Because you could get a 21, 22-year-old backpacker who does not give a shit about this job but needed a visa. That's what our industry was for years.
Yeah.
It's professionalized and people, old guard. I mean,
I'm middle.
I've been doing it for a long
He's
time
royalty.
still.
Yeah, but that's why you
Sounds
need.
good.
You have to have a license now, and they're licensing it, and it's
Just in your part of the world. In mine, we can do whatever we want.
He's actually unregulated.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
because you're in New
insane.
South Wales.
Might be a good opportunity to just recap what areas of who
Next time to bring us back in.
Okay.
So what roles do you focus on sourcing to clients?
So most of mine in the IT world is project-based. So a lot of my clients are running project management scenarios for their clients. So they might be upgrading software in a bank. And so I'd be supplying people to go into those banks and upgrade their hardware and their software. This is all done at night because nobody wants the banks closed during the day. I've also done retail people where they go in and they change simple things like they'll upgrade the FPOS machine, right? But then they have to plug them in and do that. So it goes from that. But then I've got other people in head office that are programming their systems so that head office knows when one of their stores sells a spanner, head office knows to reorder it, or they know it's been sold. So most of my stuff is contractors. I do permanent recruiting as well, but most of that is at project management level.
And tell us your
Majority, I'm a contract recruiter, so majority of my workforce is contract. again, specialising in mainly fabrication hubs in Melbourne and Sydney. I also have a logistics division, 3PL, 4PL stuff, but I would say 90% of our business is contract labour. We specialise in like temp to perm 26-week placements on our books, 26 weeks, transfer to the client with zero cost. So we deal with a lot of companies that don't have a HR team. It worked okay, all right.
Today it does, yeah.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. Like, we would never do that in our sector. You just don't.
No, but you have to offer them a job anyway after 6 months.
We have to.
So there's some.
You have to have the opportunity to be talked about.
It was a big double dipping thing a couple of years ago with some coal miners in Queensland, which created a shitstorm across Australia for contracting workforce. So if you treat a contractor like a permanent employee, over it.
Do you have to pay them leave entitlement?
Correct.
This is where this came in, yeah.
This is where, so after 26 weeks, you've got let's say you've got a contractor in your business. It's been there since day one. He came in on a 6-week contract and everyone really liked him. I said, okay, he's going to stay. And we never renewed his contract, but he's part of the furniture. Well, there's your first one.
Yeah.
He's been treated as part of the furniture. So really, he's been treated as a full-time employee.
Especially if he's doing the same hours every week.
Same hours every week. He's got a car park. Yo, we love this guy. We gave him his own car.
One employee.
Yeah.
You know, he no longer has a temp pass. We gave him his own pass. Now, there's two sides to this thing. He could then claim to Fair Work, well, I'm really a full-time employee. Okay, so he's entitled to sick pay. Okay, sick pay is not the big thing. It's leave. But here's the problem. He's then reclassified on his tax. And this is where the shit hits the fan massively. Like, the candidate can be handed a huge tax bill.
And they should be having a 25% drop in rate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's worked out.
And then this is where it got really messy. Yeah. And now we've got the same work, same pay legislation.
The tax bit.
When you're like taxed as a contractor, you're taxed in that week on what you've done. Yeah, so up, down, all over the place. So then you're averaged out over that period. Has that person now been treated as a full-time employee, paid enough tax?
Yeah, get you.
Because they might have gone away for 2 or 3 weeks and come back and then done a stack of hours. So that you've even gone like, ooh, and I mean, we haven't seen a massive thing on tax, but what we have seen is a massive grab around leave. And that's when it gets really messy.
Because companies don't accrue for their casuals because they don't feel they have to, even if they've been there for 5 years.
Here's the thing as well. What happens if the casual doesn't want to become a full-time employee?
Yeah.
Well, they have the right to not.
They have
You have to ask them now. That's what it is.
Yeah,
And
but they have the right to not.
Josh, so you're in the same sort of space?
We're in the same sphere, but in different areas. So my remit is data, AI, cyber, and executive leadership. So they're more contract heavy than I am. I do long, laborious, heavy duty, thorough processes that take a couple months, but are rigorous. So we don't have the same issues. There's some of the issues these guys are dealing with are results of a recruitment market that is race to the bottom, whereas mine is a little bit different in the way that it operates. But contractors, we have a big contract workforce as well, and interim and that kind of thing. Fractional executives, that kind of space as well.
Excellent. Well, Jess, I mean, fascinating discussion. A lot of the themes that have been discussed tonight, I guess, transferable outside of the recruitment industry as well. So it's really interesting stuff. I might just, given the time constraints we've got, might just throw it over to the audience for Kate, you ask a few questions.
What do you want to know?
No, I just think about it from a bank's policy point of view because I see a lot of, over the time, different, how people are employed has changed at time as well. There's a lot more contractors and so forth, but I've had heaps lately where it's just how you're treated. So if you're paid leave entitled, it's a contractor, you're treated differently through the bank than you are if you're not. So there's a lot of changes. It's just interesting because I see a lot of, like I said, a lot of not traditional employed PAYG work is so it's just understanding that. It's interesting.
I'm surprised banks don't offer more of a product to casual workforce.
They do, but it has to be 6 months. So if you live in, so I'm just got.
I think I've got a lot of clients for you, done, because they all want to buy houses.
Okay, that's cool. So you were not AI though.
Good.
Send me to Ted.
Yeah, ring Ted.
Ring Ted. Just call me. Don't send me an email. You don't want to talk to AI, don't send me an email.
Anyone else? What are some cool things you're experimenting with AI I know, like, have you actually experimented with using out with quotes to even resume?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think at some point, like when you're an early adopter, you see the really like bad deep fakes and stuff. They make you laugh because you can see it, and people will send you like video intros.
Oh, yeah.
That's not. Yeah, so we run them through a generator these days. Like GPT, everyone GPTs their resumes. No, it's really obvious. We know. LinkedIn has become a cesspit of people just posting chat GPT.
know.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it.
Authored stuff. Best prompt, right? If you take one thing away from this, when you use ChatGPT to write something, the next prompt you write is, now rewrite this in Australian English. No one will know. It's the Z's that give you away. The Z's and the S's that give you away.
Yeah.
But it's really, honestly, really useful for ideas and everything like that. And I'll look at it and go, oh, shit, I don't want to write that. All right, well, I'll take that little bit, I'll put that in there, and then...
Especially if it refers to a date of something, if it's a document, and it refers to something that didn't even happen in this country.
Yeah.
Happens in America.
Yes.
Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many little mistakes because people are thinking that it's like the easiest shortcut in the world. Yeah, it is, but...
If you learn how to use it...
Exactly. AI is not going to take your job.
I'm
anytime soon
dying to
in that
see when
sense.
Apple launches its AI in December, because it's all sitting in our pocket. James, you could probably answer this better than anyone.
What's up?
Yeah, AI. So James and I met randomly doing photo shoots, and we started talking, and then like we've been working now for what, a year, like doing.
I think that whole Apple AI integration is just going to make it so seamless because now it's just embedded in the front. Like right now, we're going out to like ChatGPT or it's different, like the Gemini integration with Google. It's really clunky. Yeah. But the fact that it's just sitting there in the front, it's built into the software. It's like, that's just how everyone's going to do it.
Yeah.
It's just been.
Also, you deal with it.
They can't not use
It's going to spy on you.
whatever you want.
What will change is actually the way you interact with things. So instead of going, oh, I need to Google something, you just press a button and talk, and you'll get a response.
I'm so looking forward to it.
All the big like tech AI guys I know will sit there and go, I have conversations with GPT on the way over in the car. What? We'll go on a weird tangent, but I'll sit there.
Are they single?
No, he's very married.
Oh,
and his son, who's now, this is the big thing, he's 4,
Oh, I know
he's
the guy you're
interacting with
talking
GPT. Right? So they will suddenly have this dexterity that none of us had. And the curve of technology is amazing. Like when I was young, we had like Nokia 3310s. You could throw them at walls and stuff and it'd be fine. Black and white Snake.
I miss my Crackberry.
Look, like, it's
the worst phone.
how much this
I
data
love
in
the
this thing.
Crackberry.
It's amazing.
You know, you can get a keyboard for the iPhone now. I can get a keyboard for the iPhone.
That's a Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But also, you get like I didn't even realise, and Tavis showed me this a couple of weeks ago, that you can talk to the CRM on your phone. Yeah. I was there tapping away, and I was like, no, why aren't you talking to it?
Well, that's awesome. I mean, this conversation has gone just where we wanted to get
No.
AI, but it's awesome.
We could have talked
Yeah,
about
no.
Trump.
So, thank you so much, gents.
Thank you. Welcome.
It's Josh again.
Thank you, guys.
Pleasure. And thanks to the audience as well. We'll get back to the drinks in a bit.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.